83. I know it's been a while since I started a new video, so I apologize. I've recently been starting working, so hopefully I will get some more in the fall, most likely, is what'll happen. So I got a guest with me, DK. DK, introduce yourself there.
How you doing?
Good, thank you. So, my review of this game is pretty good. I enjoyed it a lot. I actually played it 2 times already, and I'm on my third playthrough already with this game, so that
Wow,
tells you something. So, um, I will say this: it is definitely better than Seven by like leaps and
is it?
bounds. They did much
Wow.
better job with this game than they did with Seven.
Oh, that's good.
A lot more action, a lot more enemy varieties, and a lot more weapons to work with.
New enemies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Werewolves,
They difficult.
vampires, and zombies are all in this game. Ugh.
Very nice.
Yep.
How difficult are the werewolves?
At the beginning, they're a little tough, but after a while, you kind of figure out what their patterns are for the most part. They're pretty simple. Ugh.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm. But as far as score overall, I would give this game probably like a 9.5 out of 10. It is that good. Ugh.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did you give seven?
I think I
Just to
gave.
compare.
Uh, uh, I would say I would give that maybe like an 8. Because it does
Okay.
set up for this current trilogy, so I mean, it's still good to play that if you're not familiar with Ethan Winters. So I mean, it is a good
Right. Right. Right.
origin story for the most part. But as far as comparing the two, there is no comparison. This is way better than Seven.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that they improved on what things needed to be and that they did it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, the game is fun. The weapons are great. My favorite's, of course, the Magnum because there's so many varieties of Magnums now. So I mean, they
Really.
put a decent amount of effort into that. So I'm happy with
They
that.
strong weapons. That's a strong weapon.
So far the Magnum is the strongest, and then I think after that, I want to say it would probably be the grenade launcher is pretty good if you upgrade
Okay.
that. So like with everything, ammunition. So that's good. Um, let's see what else. I would say the shotgun's pretty good too. It of course, because if they group up, obviously that's the best weapon
Okay.
you want to have. The handgun is the weakest, followed by the knife, of course. The knife is the weakest
I'm
weapon in
guessing,
the game.
guessing you start out with nothing or a knife.
They give you, well, you get a knife, but then they give you a handgun. So I mean, they
Oh,
do
okay.
give you a handgun to start off with. So I mean, it's not like you start off with absolutely nothing.
That's
So,
good. That's nice of them.
hmm yeah. Oh yeah.
And
It,
would you say that the story improved upon itself basically?
I think so. I
Cool.
think so.
Twists and turns without giving anything away, twists and turns, surprises, stuff like that. That all happens.
A humongous twist at the end of the game. A
Cool.
humongous turn.
Always very nice.
Yeah.
And what would you like say? Oh, obviously you're Ethan again. So,
Yep. Yeah.
on basically on that, would you say that they added like a good amount of new characters or built upon characters from the previous game?
Well, okay. You do get to play a second character in this game, so you don't just play Ethan. You get to play as two of them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to give that away
Um,
of who it is, or is that kind of a spoiler?
that's kind of a spoiler. I
Okay.
mean, unless you guys plan on playing this game, I'll tell you. But I mean, if you've already beaten it, you already know. But if you
Right.
haven't, it's kind of a good, important character for the most part. I'll say that much.
Cool. That's cool. That's cool. And how long
Um,
does it take to beat
okay, if you don't hunt for the treasures and everything else, it's about under 3 hours.
the main story? Okay.
That's just yeah. But if you go treasure hunting and I'll try to upgrade your weapons and all that, it takes about 7, maybe 8 hours of gameplay at most.
Okay. And
But
so we all know Chris Redfield's in this, right?
correct.
So like I don't know is if this question if you can't answer this question then don't. But is he the bad guy? that you're trying to defeat?
Hmm.
I won't. Okay, if you can't answer that, don't worry. It's all good.
I don't want to give that away. You have to play the game
Yeah,
to
I
find
wouldn't
out.
either.
Yeah, you gotta play it to find
Okay,
out.
just
Um,
checking.
yep.
And how long does this game take place after the seventh?
3 years after.
3 years after. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. And
Hmm.
Ethan and are we allowed to talk about what happened in the seventh?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we can
To
do that.
oh, okay,
Seventh
so like
installment. Yeah,
Ethan
yeah.
and Mia, like they moved and all that, and
Yep.
so they got a daughter, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. So yeah, that's kind of a nice transition into it. I like that. Sounds
Hmm.
like they're all happy, you know.
Or we're supposed to be until you know what
Well,
happens.
yeah,
Like that.
you know
Yeah.
everything in the Resident
Yep.
Evil game's
Of
gonna go
course.
down bad.
Hmm. Hmm. But I will say
Now,
this much though.
go ahead.
They do hint about Umbrella coming back.
Oh, seriously? Yes.
Hmm.
Is it a subtle hint, or is it pretty in your face?
It's pretty subtle for the most part.
Ooh. Okay. So maybe not in the next game. Could be a game after even. Maybe they're planning on making this a trilogy kind of thing, and then starting again new.
Well, they said the
I like
ninth
their
one. They
ideas.
said the ninth one is going to be the last of this trilogy. But let's see how far that
Oh,
goes.
okay.
Because
That's what I had figured. I figured they would do that. So it was kind of a nice little turn.
yeah, yep.
Now, did you want to go into like any of the enemies at all, and like what
Okay, so
like
have your lichens, which are kind of werewolf-ish. They're kind of like humanoid werewolves, half human, half werewolf-ish.
those are
Um,
new, right?
yes.
Okay.
Um, when you try aiming at them at first, they will dodge one of your shots because for some odd reason they
Ooh.
do that, and then after a while they'll stop, and then you can just shoot them outright. So I mean, they do dodge a little bit, but it's a
Okay.
minor inconvenience, but it does make the game a little more engaging.
Okay. And speaking of shooting,
Hmm.
now like, is this a true survival horror? Like, is ammo? Is it hard to come by, or is it
Um,
pretty plentiful in this one?
it's kind of like Resident Evil 4. It's pretty plentiful, the ammunition,
Okay.
if you know where to look. I mean, and
I've
the
heard that
fact
they had.
that
Oh, go ahead.
oh, and the fact that you can craft it on the fly is also nice too. No,
Really? Now that's pretty cool. Is this the first game where they done that?
crafting ammo, yeah,
Wow, that's cool. That's really cool, actually.
yeah, you could do that, and you can craft first aid kits as well, first aid supplies.
Now I had read an article like they said that this one was had more action in it.
It does have a bit more action to it. I mean, there are
Okay.
points it does die down a bit, and you can actually explore in peace, but it's far in between. So
Right. Is it like your normal? Not. It's like not open world game, but it's
no,
sort of open world,
kind of, yeah. It's a sand.
linear open world.
It's yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. Sounds good. So you really enjoyed it. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad they're still making good products after how many years now, you know?
Yeah, and of course the merchant's fun too. So I mean, he's always a blast.
What is that?
So there's a new merchant in this game too. He's called the Duke. He's very interesting.
Is he his personality?
Oh yeah.
Um, oof. There was a question I was going to ask, and it totally slipped my mind. Oh, now is there multiplayer in this one?
Unfortunately, um, there is a game called Resident Evil Reverse. However, the servers have not been active yet, as far as I know.
Really?
I've been
Okay.
trying to go in like every time, and they're never active. So, but once they're active,
It,
that is the multiplayer game you can get with this game. So I mean, it's free when you get it. So you know,
it's called Resident Evil Reverse.
yes,
Okay. Was it supposed to release with the game or anything, or is this
yes.
just something totally different?
Oh no, it was supposed to be with the game.
Oh, but they kind of had to hold off.
I guess. I mean, I just hope it doesn't die down like Resistance did, because I'm kind of upset about that. So I mean, because Reavers
Was
does have potential.
Resistance? You liked Resistance, right?
A little bit when it was
Did you?
active. I mean, I played for a bit of it, but I didn't get into it as much as I wanted to though.
Um, question. Do you know a lot about the Reverse at all, or no?
Okay. So apparently you can play as most of the characters from the entire series of the games. So I mean, you get to play as like literally everybody, including like Jack Baker. It's freaking ridiculous.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah.
And is it PvP? Like it's like
Oh yeah.
just kill each
It
other
is.
and
Yeah, it's PvP, and whenever you die, like whatever protagonist you are, you get to become the antagonist of that series. So, for example, if you play as like Leon or Claire from Resident Evil 2 and you die, you get to become Mr. X in Resident Evil 2. Yeah. And like
okay.
hunt other people down and stuff. So
Okay, so they are doing sort of that hunting, like the hunting grounds, like the all those games, the
kind of,
Friday the
but
13th.
it's a little
Okay,
different.
that's cool
Yeah.
though. And their
Yep.
graphics are always amazing, so I'm kind of interested to see what their online looks like,
Yeah.
graphics wise.
And Mercenaries is back in Village, so if you guys are interested in getting that, you have to beat the game first, obviously, to unlock it. But Mercenaries is kind of fun. I won't lie. It's pretty fun, but there is a downside. You don't get to play as everybody. You only get to play as Ethan.
What do you do in that?
You just get the highest score, and whatever ranking you get, like it's like a Mercenaries. You're timed, and you kill as many enemies as you
Okay.
can while you're timed. So I mean, and of course you
Oh,
can
okay.
you get a special weapon if you get a certain rank, and it's pretty broken from what I've heard. It's like a double lightsaber you get in the game. I don't know why they give you that, but whatever. But
That's funny.
yeah, yep, just for
And
fun.
I do have a question. Like, is Ethan a character like you can really connect to? Like, you like are really into his
Oh,
story.
you kind of feel bad, but it's like when you get to the end, it's like it makes you question a lot of why he is the way he is, and it's like, oh, just why, and yeah,
So
I don't want to.
you get to learn about his past and all that.
Oh yes,
Oh, cool.
many
I'm glad.
many
I like
things.
when games do that. Learn
Hmm.
about the character you're playing as.
Yep,
Makes the game way better.
yep. Oh yeah, and the warlords are interesting too. The bosses are very interesting in the game.
Are they difficult?
Um, let's see. I guess if you want to say difficult, I mean, okay, so Lady Timurdresk or whatever her name is, the vampire tall lady that the internet's been blowing up about
Oh
like
yeah, I've
constantly.
seen it everywhere.
9 foot tall woman,
She's
claws
nine
that are
feet.
yeah, she's 9 feet tall. She's like really stupid tall. And like her claws are ridiculously long and her shoe size is redonkulous, and yeah, she has
Oh
to
my
squeeze through
god.
doors just to chase you because of the animation. It's ridiculous. I'm like, oh my god. It's
Wow.
kind of like, yeah.
That is freaky. So she like doesn't look like a normal woman all the time. Like
No,
she has like a
no.
monster form.
Well, yeah, she's basically a vampire.
Ah. Oh
And,
man.
and then of
That's very
course,
good.
you have to deal with her 3 daughters who are insect vampires. So that's fun.
Three of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, you face them each individually. I hope.
Yes, you do.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So do you have to be strategic with these boss fights at all?
A little bit. I mean, definitely with the vampires. I'm. Oh boy. Okay, vampires. Yes, that's the first boss. Second boss is kind of weird. It's kind of like a big puzzle room for the most part.
Oh,
The
okay.
second boss is basically a porcelain doll, and that's creepy as
I
in
don't mind them
itself. So
mixing in
I
a
mean,
puzzle with a boss though.
no, I don't either. So I
That's
mean,
always nice.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that was actually one of my other questions. Is there a lot of puzzles in this, or is it like you're an
There's a
average amount?
There's a decent amount. I mean, they're not very complicated. I mean, if you know what to do,
Okay.
they're not that hard.
So they're
I
not
mean,
like classic Resident Evil puzzles.
they kind of are and they kind of aren't. It's a mix.
Okay. Hey, that's good though. It's a new era. It's a new, so that's fine. Trying
Exactly.
out new stuff.
You know.
Overall, hey man, I like that 9.5 out of 10. That's pretty nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then of course
Yeah.
we got to talk about the fish man. The fish man. Oh my goodness, the fish man.
Oh yeah, what about him?
Oh, the third lord is interesting. He's basically like um the Hunchback of Notre Dame meets Island of Dr. Monroe figure ish mutates to giant fish monster and eats you, or can eat you and walk on land.
Oh man, and
Yeah,
how big, giant you said?
yeah, he's big.
Oh man, I like those kinds of bosses though because it's like, whoa, it is scary.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no.
Is he
Yeah.
one of the more difficult bosses?
He can be at first if you don't know what you're doing, but after a while, you figure out his pattern. You know, like any other Capcom boss. You know, once you figure out the
Yeah, yeah,
patterns,
yeah.
they're not that bad. But it's again, you know, not gonna get it the
Uh,
first try, but you know.
do they have like a survival mode or difficulty?
Yeah, they have a difficulty level. The highest is Village of Shadows. I haven't tried that yet. Um,
That's gotta be pretty crazy.
yeah, I've been working my way down. So I started on, you know, the easiest setting, then I went to normal,
Yeah.
and then I'm about to play hardcore, and then obviously after that is Village of Shadows, and that's it. So,
I enjoy doing that with games. Sometimes with if games are really good, they are able to totally change the gameplay, which is awesome. Like in one
yeah.
gameplay, you could go crazy with your guns and just run in, and then if you put on like survival, you have to do silent, you know. So it's
Yep.
pretty cool when they do that. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. Yep. And the last Lord reminded me of not Van Helsing too much, but he has that design, and
That's
uh,
cool.
he he's interesting. I almost felt bad killing him. Honestly, I'm like I really didn't want to fight him,
Oh,
but I had to though. I'm like, oh, he was such a
that's interesting.
charismatic villain, and I loved him. I'm like, oh,
Oh, I love it when that happens. That happens like there's like some games I'll play and I'll be like,
yep,
dude, they should have made the game about this guy.
yeah. But basically, he has telekinetic powers, and he can
Mm.
like manipulate metal. So he's basically Magneto.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. He's the
That's really
last.
cool. So it's like
He's
a
the
Van Helsing Magneto.
yes. Yep, and he is the last Lord you fight before you fight Miranda, who is obviously the final boss in the game. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but basically Miranda's crow lady slash spider slash flying
Jeez,
monster type being that can use
she's
darkness.
everything.
Just about, yeah.
Wow.
Give or take, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, yeah, she's no joke. But
Hey,
you know. But yeah, the game overall is pretty fun. I do recommend if you plan on getting it. I mean, give it a shot for yourself. I mean, because I say it's good, you know, it's whatever.
play it with the lights off in the dark with headphones.
Yep. I'm actually using the newest set of headphones. I got the Pulse 3D headset for the PS5.
Oh,
Um,
whoa.
yeah, I used it on the PS4, and let me tell you, I heard everything and everything around with these freaking things on, and I don't even have
Yeah,
a
so
PS5, so like,
so if something's behind you, it sounds like it's behind you.
yes,
That's crazy.
yeah, yeah, it is. It's pretty fun. Um, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. I apologize for it being kind of short-ish, but I don't want to give everything away because I think you guys haven't played most of this yet. But if you have, I might do another one with open spoilers about literally everything. Because there is still a lot I haven't said that I don't want to, you know, give away
No,
quite
no, you
yet.
did good.
But
You did your review without giving anything away.
yeah,
Very informative about everything, honestly. So,
but I will say this: the next horror game I'm gonna get is called Song of Deep or something like that. It was under my radar. It
okay.
it literally flew under my radar. I kept an eye on this game for a while now. It plays like classic Resident Evil because back camera angles, somewhat tank controls, but it's very
Right.
atmospheric. So it's a different type of a horror game. So
Right. Right.
when I get the chance, I will try to get that on my PS4 because it's only like $40. So I mean, it's not an expensive game. So
And you'll
I'll,
stream that?
I will try to. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, if you get the time. That's
Yeah,
cool.
because work is work.
Yeah, I know.
Just
I know.
work. Yeah,
I know. Busy time, so.
yeah. But I'm glad you guys stopped by. Thanks again. I appreciate your contribution. If you guys liked what you saw or heard, please just hit that subscribe button, and you get to see more of my shenanigans on my previous videos. I've done a ton of them. I started YouTube at 2011, so I've been doing this for a while now. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys will see a ton of those. And thanks again, TK, for joining on the podcast. As always, you're an
Hey,
excellent
I have
guest.
fun, man. It's always fun.
And
Always.
I hope to see you guys next time. And we'll see you around and stay hydrated. Okay.
See
Bye.
you later.
See you guys later. Bye.